Shia LeBeouf, Kevin Spacey, Ezra Miller, all at the Cannes Film Festival. Huh. It's as if he's not been through anything traumatic, including accusations. He beat the trial, what, in the UK? Spacey. Despite all three actors having disturbing allegations against them, Cannes Film Festival decided it was a good idea to invite and showcase actors Shia LaBeouf, Kevin Spacey, Ezra Miller. Why did they pick these three? I don't know. But yeah, I'm not saying they don't have skills. I was just curious what went into this. Why? That's a fair question, I think. These are household names, not just for their illustrious careers, parts of them, but some other reasons too. Well, the reason why LaBeouf was there, Leo Lewis O'Neill's documentary, Slauson Rec, was one of the late additions to the Cannes Film Festival lineup. Film, which received a 2-minute ovation on Sunday, had been teased for weeks as a roller coaster ride through an experimental theater company run by the actor. Director O'Neill revealed to Vanity Fair prior to the festival that his involvement in the documentary started when he showed up to attend LaBeouf's acting class with a camera in hand. The director said LaBeouf asked him if he would film everything that took place at Slauson. O'Neill did just that for over the next few years until the acting school was disbanded in November 2020 amid the COVID pandemic. Variety with the details. What begins as a 2018 attempt to build a creative family of players and stimulate the community of South Central Los Angeles played more like a descent into ego-driven insanity, complete with physical violence and harrowing screaming matches. Woo! The emotional terror LaBeouf reeks borders on the inhumane. Company member named Sarah, a fan of the actor since he starred in the Disney Channel original Even Stevens, lands a lead role in a drive-in play from LaBeouf's company during the onset of the coronavirus pandemic. As her mother sits dying in the hospital from some undisclosed infection, she chooses to remain in rehearsals for the chance to work with her mentor. After her mother passes and the play is 2 weeks from opening, LaBeouf fires her, saying the show simply works better without her in the part. Ooh. A similar scenario, young company member named Zeke books a role on the Netflix original On My Block, parallel to the company's work. LaBeouf seemingly turns on him, nicknaming him James Dean, ratcheting up the criticism of his performance. It ends with Zeke quitting 45 days into rehearsals and LaBeouf instigating a fist fight with him that leaves the aspiring performer with scrapes and bruises. What? What's going on here? I mean, there's been reports of anger and some other things. Wow. An incident that is included in the documentary shows another encounter with LaBeouf and Zeke. Footage shows LaBeouf slamming a table with his fist and yelling at Zeke, "I don't give a F what you say to me. You've got it better than I ever had it. What the F is the attitude problem? I'm giving you everything I have, so stop effing with me." The actor then shoves Zeke against a wall. Buff turned up to the screening in what was his first time seeing the film. He spoke with festival director Thierry Frémaux at the start, simply saying, "I'm so grateful O'Neill still lets me around him and lets me bring him ideas." In the opening moments of the movie, LaBeouf sits for a present day interview. "I've done a lot of coming to terms with the failure that was my life and the plastic foundation I had," LaBeouf says. "I left a lot of people in the wake of my personality defects." Talk about reflection. LaBeouf was sued by singer FKA Twigs for sexual battery, assault, emotional distress a month after the school was disbanded. Given the footage in his documentary, O'Neill told Vanity Fair that he sent LaBeouf a trailer for the project, seeking his sign-off on it. LeBeouf allegedly gave his full blessing for the movie to be made without any editorializing on his behalf. The scenes of alleged physical violence remain in the final cut. LeBeouf gave the following statement to Vanity Fair. I gave Leo this camera and encouraged him to share his vision and his personal experience without edit. I'm aware of the doc and fully support the release of the film. While my teaching methods may be unconventional for some, I'm proud of the incredible accomplishments that these kids achieved. Together, we turned a drama class into an acting company. I wish only good things for Leo and everyone who was part of the Slauson Rec company. What kind of CCOT nonsense is this? This is his acting company? Kevin Spacey now, set to return to the film festival in Cannes for the first time, almost a decade, to collect a Lifetime Achievement honor. He is a two-time Oscar winner. He was last in Cannes in 2016 when he served as MC for the AmFAR Gala and ripped into Donald Trump, then not even the Republicans' confirmed presidential nominee. Much has happened since then, of course, Trump having been elected twice, Spacey's career nosediving following several allegations of sexual misconduct. A whole lot has happened. But having been found not liable in a civil lawsuit in New York in 2022 and acquitted in a criminal case in London the following year, the actor is now heading back to Cannes, where he's due to arrive on Sunday. On Tuesday, he'll receive a special Lifetime Achievement Award at the Better World Fund's Gala, adding to a similar honor he received in Italy last year. Spacey's visit, which Variety understands could even include a red carpet appearance at the Palais, is it Palais? Is likely to cause something of a stir, but that's the whole point. The entire trip and his receiving of the award has been orchestrated by the producers and conspiracy thriller The Awakening, in which he stars and is being sold at the festival. Producer Matt Hookings of Camelot Films, adding that bringing Kevin Spacey to Cannes is all part of his company's guerrilla marketing to bring attention to the film, which also includes viral videos promoted by Spacey's co-stars. While flying and accommodating Spacey and his small team is an expensive outlay for a small indie production company, landing him the award from the Better World Fund proved to be relatively easy. The guy that runs it is a big fan of Kevin, and I just said, look, here's a crazy idea. If I asked him to come, what can you do for him? Said Hookings. This kind of happened organically. A lot of people really like him. So you have a lot of people going, this is really cool. And then you'll have some people that'll be like, what the F is he doing here? But hopefully the people who say, what the F is he doing here? When they realize why he's here, they'll give him a second chance. Ezra Miller, meanwhile, he showed up at the film festival too. Red carpet there to support Lynn Ramsey, who is premiering Die My Love on Saturday, wearing a burgundy tux and trousers. Miller was sporting long hair, a beret, but did not stop for photographers on the carpet. Miller starred in Ramsey's We Need to Talk About Kevin, which played in competition at the festival in 2011. Miller has been keeping a low profile. The Flash premiered in 2023. The year before, the actor apologized for their recent behavior, saying they were seeking help for complex mental health issues. Miller's latest round of headlines has been mixed as The Flash opened to low box office totals, yet the actor was able to leave one of their legal troubles behind in June 2023 as a protective order issued against them in the state of Massachusetts was lifted. The actor had been accused of behaving inappropriately around a 12-year-old child and their family. So you have three controversial figures in film, all at this renowned festival, Yas.
Yeah.
Should we just separate the art from the artist, or is it impossible to do that? Particularly when you have Shia LaBeouf, let's say, and Kevin Spacey, who are also accused of doing things on the artist stage, we'll say,
Yeah.
during filming other things. It's complicated, or is it crystal clear to you?
I honestly, if I am being completely honest, I do struggle with that, with separating the art from the artist or not to do that at all, right? If you look at a lot of artists from history, a lot of ones who are still celebrated today for their art, they are not good people, right? The difference is that today we have a lot more information that we didn't have before. We have a much, 24/7 news cycle and just 24/7 social media. All of these things are available to us. So we can't pretend to not know the extent of how bad these people are because it's all available to us if we want to find it. At the same time, Kevin Spacey was probably one of my favorite actors up until recently. And it's hard because, yeah, I still want to watch these old movies. But then I think what people struggle with the most is, look, I don't want to fund this person's lifestyle. I don't want them to think it's okay to treat people the way that they do. I don't want them to feel rewarded whenever they've made other people's lives so difficult. And so by consuming their content, I don't want to call movies content, but by watching their movies, listening to their music, whatever, you are putting money in their pockets. And everyone has the right to say, look, I don't want my money to fund that person's lifestyle. I don't want to contribute to that. I don't want to make it feel like it's okay for this person to behave the way that they are behaving just because they keep getting away with it, right?
Mhm.
And it all comes back to what the original point of cancel culture was, right? The original point of cancel culture was essentially just a boycott, saying, look, I don't like you. I don't like the way you live your life. I don't like the things that you do to other people. And I think that really is the crux of it, is like people being victimized or becoming victims of these people and say, look, I don't want to spend my money on you anymore. And then that process of actually withholding money, that is what actually makes moves and makes differences in places like Hollywood. So that's what kind of stands out to me with this story. Life goes on. And sometimes it is bizarre to see. Sometimes it is a little dystopian. Sometimes it just feels wrong. And seeing these three people, especially all three of them all at once at Cannes, is very unsettling and yeah, I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting to see any of these people on a red carpet anytime
Mhm.
soon. But realistically, someone like Kevin Spacey, he isn't going to go away forever after being canceled the way that he was. And again, I almost don't want to use the word canceled because I feel like that word has been cheapened lately. But Kevin
Yes.
Spacey was canceled in the most true sense of what the word originally meant in this context. But Kevin Spacey, he was never just going to become an accountant after getting thrown out of Hollywood. So I'm not surprised to see him and others like him, in this case, Shia LaBeouf and Ezra Miller, attempting to make comebacks with the Hollywood crowd. And you can't blame them for thinking that they can do that. The advice for people who
Sure.
had been canceled or, even just had some bout of bad press is to take some time away from the spotlight, give people a moment to kind of forget about what you did, get over it, and then come back with a sincere apology, as sincere as you can be on social media these days. And then maybe the fans will forgive you enough to where you can be considered marketable and hireable again in Hollywood. But audiences these days, as I said, are less forgiving than perhaps they were in the past because
Yeah.
you don't have to forget. Everything is just there for you. And we
Yeah.
haven't even gotten any kind of apology or acknowledgments of wrongdoing from any of these guys, not that I can recall. I know that Kevin Spacey put out a strange video a while back, but I would hardly call that video an apology. But I do think that we all collectively, and I know I'm using that word a lot today, but I do think that we need to stop expecting morality from Hollywood because it
Yeah.
is a business and businesses are amoral. They will
Yeah.
work with whoever they think of if
Mhm.
they can make money off of them. If they think that audiences want to see Kevin Spacey on the big screen again, they will put him on there. They will cast him and call it a comeback. They will market it as a triumph. But if audiences don't respond positively,
Yep.
and I don't mean on social media, but I mean at
Yep.
low box office returns, then it's not going to happen.
Let's be clear. Hollywood did not cancel Kevin,
Mm-mm.
Shia, or Ezra Miller. That Hollywood didn't. Any
They just
forced
responded. Yeah.
ouster, right? I mean, they were forced to do. And I
Mhm.
think those who are forgiven, though, most likely three white guys. Okay, we had the gentleman who had. I really don't know what happened in that car service. He's now with Megan Good. Remind me of his name. Okay, he's still not back. And I'm not advocating for him one way or the other. I'm just saying it depends on who you are. But I also think you're right. It's not, it shouldn't be, rather, in my view, a systemic canceling. Look, you have the right to test the waters, and I have the right not to buy. I have the right. I'm not interested in a brilliant artist who happens to be a sexual assaulter and a child molester named R. Kelly. I'm just not. I probably am not interested in somebody else who's on federal trial with horrific allegations. Why are your daughters there? Ugh. Okay. They may legally be 18, but I don't know why you'd bring them to court talking about Diddy. But that's just my opinion. Okay. But yes, these these folks and some others. Remember Bill Cosby? I don't mean to just focus on people of color, but Bill Cosby came out of prison gnawing on a piece of bread or pizza or something. It was a ridiculous posting. I remember it at the time. And he had that ridiculous publicist who said he's ready to go back on tour. It wasn't going to happen. But this is what Bill Cosby, why wouldn't he believe that? He got away with so much for so long. He was gnawing on a piece of pizza or something, having a ridiculous interview. I said, they got to get him off of this stage for good. Go find Camille.